Hey guys, Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. I have got this adorable snowman crayon stackable pencil treat for you today. Alright, so let me show you. I found these fun little stackable snowman crayons on Amazon. I'll provide a link for you. There's also stackable pencils that are very similar, so I just included a link to those too. Picked up a couple of dozen of these. You can get them in either 4 packs or 12 packs. I found them on Amazon, and the links are sources below the video if you're on YouTube, in the description, and if you're on the blog, the sources are right above the video. You can click on over and see these things. But they inspired this adorable little treat bag. I'm making these for my last craft fair of the season tomorrow, and so I figured, why not get the camera rolling and make one with you? Alright, so I showed you my little pencil. Let's talk about the Stampin' Up! Supplies that you need to make this little bag. It's very punch heavy, and I love those for craft fairs because they just go so quickly. I've got my everyday label punch. I've got my Starburst punch and my 2-inch circle punch. I also have a 1/2-inch circle punch for this one. Let me move these so they don't go clattering to the floor. Got my scallop tag topper punch. I'm using seasonal tags framelits and my seasonal chums. We're do this little snowman here. I thought he was cute and whimsical and a good match for this. Let's see here. I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I have my 2x8 cellophane bags from Stampin' Up! And get one of those out. I'm using my retired Emerald Envy stripe ribbon. Grab this off of the clearance rack. You can use assorted ribbon. Let's see, what else have I got here? My designer series paper is Santa's Workshop designer series paper, and this is 1.5 by 6.5, I believe. I'll put the measurements on the project sheet that you'll find below the embedded video on the blog. If you're on YouTube, you'll find a link to the blog post in the details. So this is, I think, 1.5 by 6.5, and then this is 1 3/4 by 7.5. And then I've got scraps for my Starburst, so this has got to be at least a 2.5-inch square. And then I've got a scrap of Call Me Clover cardstock. That's what I had handy, so I grabbed it. Matches really good with the Emerald Envy ribbon, I think. I think it works. We're going to use this one to punch our everyday label punch, so you'll need about a 2.25 by 3-inch piece. And then I've got a 2.25-inch strip of Whisper White. Let's start there with some stamping. Oh, the other thing that I've got is some elastic cord, silver elastic cord, and I got this from my mom's house. Stampin' Up! Doesn't have a silver elastic cord, but you can find it at most any craft store. Alright, so we're gonna start with stamping. Let me grab my Memento ink and my Stampin' Blends. I'm going to show you the Stampin' Blends that I use. Oh, I've also got my 1/8-inch hole punch. My Stampin' Blends for this project are Dark Pumpkin Pie, Call Me Clover Combo, Dark Poppy Parade, Light Night of Navy. I've got my Smoky Slate Combo Pack. This is the Light Pool Party. And then I've got the Dark Basic Black and a Color Lifter. Okay, so I'm ready to stamp here, and for this project I only want the front half of my little snowman dude. So I'm only inking up the front half of him. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp him on this strip. And then I'm going to color him in. And I did really some very basic coloring. I'm not going to do all of that here. I'll just show you some of the little blending things that I did. Very simple blending. Otherwise, I just colored in one color. The only place it gets a little tricky here is I like to give my snowman some dimension. I don't want him to look like I forgot to color him. So I'm going to take my light pool party and just give some shape to his body. See that? It'll just draw in some shadows. And then I'll take my color lifter and just scribble right where the light pool party and the white cardstock meet. And that'll give us a soft blended look. If you look at my sample here, you can see that his body's not just pure white. We got a little bit of blue shadow in there. And then for my little bunny, I took the dark smoky slate and just kind of colored his left ear and down the left side of his body. Just took one little line. Then I colored his right ear, and right against that stripe of the darker gray that I just made with the light gray, the light smoky slate, and then where the light meets the white, I just scribble in with some color lifter, and that gives us this little gray bunny. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna color in. I did no blending. I'm just gonna color in this little dude. Okay, so I've got my dude here and he's completely colored. Let's go ahead and quickly punch out from the scrap here a 2-inch circle. Set that aside, and now we're gonna get the big shot and cut this guy out. I love this seasonal tags framelit. It's really cute. It's got a little front and back image of our snowman. And so for this one, I stamped both. I'm just going to show you how it cuts out. If you haven't seen this already, it's really adorable. So I'm going to line up my image, use my die here to make a nice even little white border all around both the front and the back of the little snowman there. And I've got some low-tack tape, and I'm just going to use that to keep this die from shifting. I want him to come out perfect. Okay, so I've cut him out, and whether you want to use him just the front or the front and back image is your choice. See how? And then you just fold. It's got a little hanger, and you can do this dude as a little gift tag. Isn't that just so sweet? All right, just in case you haven't seen that yet. Now when I'm only using the front side of him, I only stamp the front side of him. But if you got the whole thing, just snip off your back and then you're good to go. All right, let's get our sample back in here and let's move on with our project. So the next thing we're gonna do is punch our everyday label. We're gonna punch that one out of Call Me Clover. And then we're gonna punch our Starburst punch. And we're gonna do that one from Poppy Parade. We got one more punch here to go, actually 2 more punches to go. So we're going to now adhere our designer series paper to our Call Me Clover cardstock, and you want an even bottom, right and left margin. That's what you're going for here, because next up you're gonna slide this dude right into the scallop tag topper. You want to center it, so you need to look at what you're doing from the back. You want to make sure your end scallops are even. Punch that down. Cute, right? Now slide this guy in the bag. And I found that it was necessary to just trim the tiniest little, not even 1/4 of an inch. It was just hard to line up without. What I did was slide my bag into the punch. The same way we did with the paper. We're going to make sure that our scallops line up even on the right and the left. And then we're going to punch the bag. All right. So there's our little scallop top bag. Isn't that cute? It's hard to see, isn't it? All right, so now I've got my everyday label punch and my 1/2 inch circle. What you're gonna do is you're going to eyeball about a, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch in on that scallop on the end, center right to left, and punch. Flip and do the same thing. So you're looking for about an 1/8 of an inch, maybe 3/16, and then you can use these little indents and gauge center. So they need to be a little bit more to the right. It's not going to be exactly perfect. You're eyeballing it, and it's okay. We're making a mechanism to hold our little stackable crayon in place so it doesn't roll all around in the bag. Okay, so then what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to start rolling the paper fibers and kind of gently roll it around my thumb and put some shape there. We're going to add some strong adhesive. You can use tear and tape, or you can use or you can use fast fuse here. You want something that's kind of strong, just in the center there. You're rolling up the edges. And now what you want to do is adhere your little label to the Designer Series paper and burnish the center there. Now from here, this little corner of the label to the bottom of the Designer Series paper is about 2 inches, if that helps you. Okay? While we're adhering, let's put our Whisper White circle on our Poppy Parade Starburst, and with that 1/8 inch circle punch, just pop a little circle in the top to make a tag. Now here's our little stackable crayons. You want to make sure all your little snowmans are securely pressed into one another and that all their faces are front. And then you're going to pull up the ends of the label and you're going to slide this dude in. And he slides pretty easy. You got to watch the brim of the hat and the noses. Their little noses like to catch on the edge, so take your time and just work them through without tearing the cardstock. It's a close fit, but it's doable. And what you want is the purple dude's hat under the bottom one here, and the blue dude's nose underneath the top one, and that'll give you the little yellow dude kind of framed right in the center. Sometimes I find if you turn them and then rotate them back, their noses will go through a little bit easier. And there we go. So it's right along yellow's bottom and blue's hat. See how that goes? Ha! So cute! Oh my gosh, I can hardly stand it. All right, now we're gonna put it into the punched bag that we've prepared. Again, their little noses are grabbing the bag. It's okay, it's kind of a close fit, but that's all right. All right, so you've got our ribbon here, and we're going to slide through all 3 layers, front of the bag, tag, and the back of the bag for a minute. Let's get our snow fella onto the tag. I'm going to put him so that his head is right next to the little hole. It almost covers the little hole in the tag, so it's not exactly straight up and down because he's such a close fit on here. And we'll take a few inches of elastic. Now I've folded my elastic in half. This is maybe 6 inches, and I'm going to put the loop of the fold through the back and then pull my tails through the front. Okay, so now I got little strings. I'm going to take one of these little elastic loops and I'm going to lay it in between the ribbon here. I'm going to loop up and then over the top. And you notice I'm splitting them. One of the elastic is outside and one is inside. Pull to tighten, hold the center, pull the tails and finesse. Get a cute little bow. Then we'll pull this guy a little bit deeper into the bow and take both ends of the elastic and we'll tie that in a thread knot style. So both, loop them around, tuck it through the loop, and then tie a knot and you'll have the two ends. I'm gonna snug that up nice and tight. Okay, I'm back with my ribbon scissor. They're a little bit sharper. Let's trim the ends here. All right, so I've trimmed my tails. Let's move this stuff away. And there it is. There's our little snowman stackable crayon treats. If you got any questions about the project, if I can help you with Stampin' Up order, there's anything I can do to help you stay crafty, email me, marisa@kitchentablestamper.com. And you can shop 24/7 at marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching.